There's an entrepreneur named Jim Rohn, and he has this famous line where he says that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. It's a very different way of thinking about your community and how those people impact your running. And not just any success that you might have in running, but really any other endeavor that you might have in life. So I wanted to record this video and talk a little bit more about exactly that, your community, the people that you surround yourself with. Because the interesting thing is that the science is now actually catching up with the wisdom of this entrepreneur. Let's take a look. I started looking at some research, some studies that have been published recently about this effect, and the literature is actually pretty astounding. So let's go through a couple of these studies and talk a little bit about the findings that they found. So number one, psychologists have found that if you see someone experiencing pain, whether physical pain or emotional pain, you're going to feel some pain too. They call this the I feel your pain effect. It's very pronounced and measurable. They also found that emotions can have ripple effects through an entire town. Even emotions are contagious. And this is true for emotions that you can't visibly see, like anger or sadness, or maybe even happiness. These are emotions like motivation. Even motivation is contagious. One study looked at your performance at work. And if you sit next to someone who's a high performer, your work performance is actually going to increase by 15%. But the opposite is true as well. If you sit next to someone who's a low performer, you can expect your performance to decline about 30%. That is just astounding. The other thing that I saw was that if you text your partner in a negative mood, and this is making me laugh because I did this to my wife recently, if you text your partner in a negative mood, they're going to pick up on that and their mood will sour too. And finally, I saw that Facebook posts can also spread emotions. Not that we really have to read a study to learn that one. All right, so what does all this mean? It's very interesting, and I think a lot of us intuitively understand that we do mirror those around us. And that's one of the big lessons that we can learn from this kind of research that's now coming out. Who you surround yourself with matters. You now have more control over your emotional state because you can choose who you spend time with and how you react to things. So whether you want to text your spouse when you're angry or sad or not feeling very well, or if you want to really respond to that angry Facebook post that your crazy uncle put up, you have now a little bit more agency to understand how these emotions can spread and your role in not only spreading them, but preventing the spread of negative emotions. We can also take this a step further and just avoid the Debbie Downers in our life, the negative people, the complainers, the people who always bring you down. Cut these people from your life because they are only impacting your performance in all areas in a very negative way. And perhaps most importantly, find a supportive group who's going to lift you up. And with respect to running, this could be a team. This could be a local club that you run with once a week. This could be some friends that you train with a couple times per week. Or it could be a virtual community that you check into, that you can share stories with, that you can share your ups and your downs with regard to running. And these are the people who really are going to understand what you're going through when you are training for a big race, or you have an injury, or something really great happens in your running career and you run a huge PR, or you qualify for Boston. These are the people who understand that. So if you don't have a super supportive family when it comes to your running, or you don't have any friends who run, or the area that you live in doesn't really have a vibrant running community, there are options available to you. And the people that you surround yourself with can improve your performance, or they can lower your performances. And no matter which option you choose, whether you join a local club, whether you find a bunch of friends to keep you accountable and honest with yourself with your running, or you found a virtual community who can lift you up, who can support you and give you the guidance that you need, just remember, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.